Who would have thought that winter could happen in Russia? This non-joke is frequently heard as people from a number of regions all over the country are coming together to express their anger and frustration about a lack of heat in their homes. In their short videos, they criticize the local authorities, who they say have not been adequately prepared for winter. Some even appealed directly to the Russian president.
Dear Vladimir Putin, we are forced to turn to you for help because the municipal authorities don't respond.
In the town of Podolsk near Moscow, more than 20,000 residents have been left without heating for several days due to an accident at the main boiler house. The heating facility is located in the grounds of a private high-security ammunition plant, and when things went wrong, that led to President Putin to order the complex nationalized. But the problems run deeper than mismanagement.
It's due to worn-out infrastructure, insufficient funding, ineffective governing system and qualified personnel shortage. The outflow of migrants which coincided with the beginning of the armed conflict in Ukraine.
Last year, state media said Europe would freeze without Russian gas, which was boycotted due to the conflict in Ukraine. This year, it seems the tables have turned. As the armed conflict in Ukraine approaches its 2-year mark, the system in Russia is beginning to show some signs of fatigue. No one knows what the limit of its durability is. Behind a facade of stability and prosperity, there is a lot of dilapidated infrastructure and questionable governance. Analysts say the problem needs to be solved systematically over several years and not patched up in a hurry.
There's a need for drastic reforms in the housing and utility systems. Voters should hold their local governments accountable for their actions. We can't afford sending our employees and finances to the war. Plus, if sanctions from the equipment used by our utility services are lifted, things will improve gradually.
The heating crisis is the latest in a series. There are increased calls by wives and mothers calling for the return of their men fighting in Ukraine. A sudden rise in egg prices has also added to home woes. Some analysts say that discontent is growing as General Frost tightens his icy grip. A worrying sign, perhaps, weeks before the presidential elections due to be held in March. Yulia, Shapovalova, Jazeera, Moscow.